just having a decorum, bro. You feel me? So let's keep it a buck, right? The only reason why Rick Kendall's even admitted that was because another real geneticist,
Hank Greeley, a law professor at Stanford University,
named Hank Greenlee up out of Stanford. Hold on, bro. Damn, who the fuck? Hey, another geneticist at the time that was respectable. The reason why 60 Minutes reached out to him and shit, because they always want to make sure they got credible people and shit before they went live.
Hank Greeley, a law professor at Stanford University,
especially at that time, he basically forced him to admit it because, as you could tell, as the lady kept repeating the certain things about it that Hank Greenlee told her, he had no choice but to admit it.
All right, so for one, I reached out to Hank Greeley, brother. So that 2008 shit that y'all keep talking about is outdated.
Prove it. Prove it.
So let's get it. This is Hank Greeley. He says, I'm a Stanford law professor. I work on ethical, legal, and social issues in biosciences. Let's go down, okay? He responded to me because I asked him, I said, is DNA testing a scam? Is it a hoax? Is it not real? Or does it just have limitations? And he said, wow, the 60 Minutes segment I did about was in 2008. Didn't know that was still alive. Short answer, both then and even more now. It can be done, but it still has major limitations. So for one, DNA testing can be done. As a way of finding, confirming fairly close genetic relatives out to second cousins, say, it's quite good. As a way of telling your ethnic roots, it's okay. It's good at telling you if you have ancestry from some of the major continental groups, Europe, East Asia, the Americas, Sub-Saharan Africa.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
I see
what I'm saying?
I thought...
No, so, you know what I'm saying? That you done fucked up now, you know that, don't you?
It's pretty good at telling you how much DNA you inherited from there, but not wonderful. If it tells you you are 50% European, your family tree would probably show you as having somewhere between 35 to 65%, somewhere around there. But I don't have data to support a real range of your ancestors from there. If it says you are 10% East Asian, your family tree would probably show you with somewhere between 0 to 20% of your ancestors from there. If it says you are 50% Scottish or Japanese or Ashkenazi, you are probably 20 to 80% from that ancestry. The narrower the population, the less accurate.
Uh-oh.
So every time Rick Kittles tell you guys,
Hank Greeley is concerned that the science isn't really there yet for you to be giving them the name of a tribe.
I think for most companies, I would be concerned too.
But what about your own company?
We have
He
the
didn't
largest...
exclude you. He included you.
But we have the largest set of sequences from Africa. And so with that, we're able to provide some level of probability in terms of frequency.
I have the largest database with African people. Over 30,000 lineages. If it says you are 5% Swedish, you may as well have 15% of your ancestry Swedish or 0%. And maybe instead have some Norwegian or Danish or Icelandic, but maybe not. I had mine done by two firms, Family Tree DNA, for that 60 Minutes show that they did not mention it because it wasn't interesting by ancestry. All right? So he had a DNA test done.
Uh-oh.
They all agree I'm overwhelmingly European in ancestry. anywhere from 100 to 95%, depending on the company and the time of the assessment, but vary dramatically about the percentages of Irish, Scottish, English, Germany, and my ancestry, while throwing in various small percentages of Swedish, Spanish, Southern Europe, Eastern Europe, Jewish, or Middle Eastern, none of them above 10%, and none of them worth much credence. And every year or so, companies change its assessment. My miscellaneous and one of them from Spain to Sweden, of course, one upgrade, but it was about 5%, so I didn't put any weight on it. Okay? If you have non-European ancestry, the details are going to be even worse. Okay? And this is why he's going to break down to you everything Rick Kittles was saying from the jump. The firms have a lot of customers with German or French or English ancestry, so they can distinguish somewhat between those European subpopulations. But they have very few customers from Native Americans, South Asians, non-Han East Asians, Sub-Saharan Africans. See that? If they tell you that your ancestry is Cherokee, it might well be Cree or Hopi. If they tell you your ancestry is Korean, it might well be Japanese or Chinese. If they tell you your ancestry is Zulu, it could be Yoruba or Kikuyu. The smaller their customer base, let me repeat that again. The smaller their customer base, the worse their narrow assessments get. I hope this was helpful. So, when you go to places like Ancestry and 23andMe, that's the wrong test.
East African, West African.
No, see, that's the wrong test.
Which one you took? Like you got the
you took Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
I took African Ancestry.
You want to go to African Ancestry so you can get your African ancestry. So if you know where you originate from, you know you're not from America. You know that you came from Africa. Because those Africans on that continent share the same genetic makeup as you. So you know you're not a native. You know you wasn't already here. And Hank Greeley, the man you love to use, said that DNA can be done. So I don't want to ever hear you guys talking about, well, 60 Minutes said it's limited. It can be done. It's a sad day in the Aboriginal community. Here goes your 60 Minutes out the window. Dan Calloway out the window. Cootie Mayo out the window. Phoenix Moon out the window. Any Aboriginal, any so-called native, 60 Minutes is out the window. You can go and find out your ethnicity. And it's your brother Y.K Da Truth, and I'm out. Peace.
I haven't seen any indication that these Native American groups, which we are claiming relationships with, are really the descendants of the first people in the Americas. In other words, to make a long story short, I think this Aboriginal thing is nonsense. I think it's anti-African. I think it's destructive to our community.
Watch me do it for my ancestors. Watch me do it for my ancestors. They try to say that it ain't happening. It ain't what? But you know that they be capping on. Watch me do it for my ancestors. Watch me do it for my ancestors. They try to say that it ain't happening. It ain't what? But I know that they be capping on. Now they wanna ask about a boat. Looking at them cause I know that it's a joke. It's a joke. Because they don't really see that they needed the boats more than forced slavery. Nigga. So miss me with the dumb shit. My ancestors built the drums with the drumsticks. So you could move on your feet. So I could groove to the beat. But you rather be an Indian, but you look more like a pretendian. Columbus named you when he came through with Spain, oof. You wanna say DNA ain't real. You need help, take your ass to Dr. Phil. And why you wanna steal from the natives? Leave them alone, you got your own flavors. Stop being a culture vulture, please. Stop being a culture vulture, nigga, please. Stop being a culture vulture, please. Stop being a culture vulture. Watch me do it for my ancestors. Watch me do it for my ancestors. They try to say that it ain't happen. It ain't what? But you know that they be capping on. Watch me do it for my ancestors. Watch me do it for my ancestors. They try to say that it ain't happen. It ain't what? But you know that they be capping on.